Hi friends, this is FirearmPop, and I did this video just about a year ago, 10 Commandments of Concealed Carry. There's 10 real good rules, good rules to live by when it comes to concealed carry, and especially in our everyday lives here. Now, more and more people are picking up the habit of concealed carry, and that's what makes these videos very timely and important. And I know I have a ton of new subscribers that didn't see my old video, so I thought I'd go over the 10 of them again and kind of expand on them a little bit if I can. So let's get right to it. The 10 Commandments of Concealed Carry. Number 1, thou shalt arm thyself and carry whenever legally possible. Okay, number 1 rule under that is have a gun. It's the first rule of a gunfight, is to have a gun. So, whenever it's legally possible. I find myself sometimes having to leave it home depending on where I'm going, or lock it in the car, have it available in the car locked, because I might be going to places like the Veterans Administration, which you can't carry on federal property. Even if you go into the post office, you shouldn't be carrying in there. But even within New York State, there's not a lot of places that you can't carry. I guess schools is another one. So always be conscious of where you're going to be going. If not, have a place to lock the gun up in the car. Unload it and lock it up. But other than that, if you're going to have a concealed carry license and you're going to conceal carry, you should do it all the time. With those exceptions, carry your gun. It should become second nature. You should feel naked. I know I do. If I leave the house and I don't have a gun, I absolutely feel naked and vulnerable. So have a gun. Number 2, thou shalt not take another's gun's name in vain. And what this is talking about is, it's always nice to have another gun. Look at the other people's guns and do the wishing, and wishing you can have that one. But practice with yours. Learn how to use yours and carry it. That's your best protection right there. Thou shalt honor thy neighbor by dressing to conceal. That's number 3. Thou shalt honor thy neighbor by dressing to conceal. People get upset when they see people carrying a gun. So dress appropriately. Make sure you're not printing. Make sure it's not obvious that you're carrying. And check yourself out in the mirror until you're comfortable that you can carry without being seen. Do stretch over. If you're going to be doing some stretching and bending, see if that gun's going to show up or not. A lot of times that's the place where people get in trouble, okay? Because people don't understand. They either have one or two things: think you're an outlaw, or they think you're law enforcement. Most people don't understand that citizens are allowed to conceal carry. Number 4, thou shalt observeth thy surroundings. And thou shalt observeth thy surroundings. Yeah, be observant. I just, don't walk into a situation that you don't have to. I learned a long time ago, there's a couple of places that I do walk-bys before I enter. Convenience stores, 7-Elevens, Wawas, whatever is local to you, convenience stores. You don't want to just go barging in willy-nilly. These places are magnets for felons and have a lot of activity. So I usually do a walk-by. I walk by the front windows, I look inside, see what's going on. If everything looks normal, then I continue going in. Same thing with liquor stores. I do the same thing. I walk by, not that I go to a liquor store that often, but when I do a walk-by. And I look inside the window, see if there's who's in there, what's going on. If there's a man dressed in a long black coat in summertime and he's standing at the counter, I'm not going to go in. Okay. So anyway, observe your surroundings. 5, thou shalt reload when divine intervention is delayed. Now, you've seen many videos whether to carry a reload for your gun, a second gun, okay, backup. It's called a New York reload, and there's other names for it as well. But you need to decide on what you need to do to reload. Now, I have mixed feelings on that because I just read an article that 70% of civilian encounters happen in dim to low light situations and are 5 to 6 rounds. So do you need a 16 round mag? Do you need a backup 16 round mag? I know here in New York State the maximum capacity is 10. There are some pre-bands that are available. You can get some with 15, but you really don't need it. Just my opinion. Unless you really consider you live in a neighborhood where you think you're going to get attacked by a gang, that's generally not the case. So thou shalt become a creature. That one, number 5, was thou shalt reload when divine intervention is delayed. Okay, so reload can be a second gun. Number 6, thou shalt become a creature of habit. Practice, practice, practice. Carry the same gun, carry it in the same position, in the same condition, whether you have one in the chamber, safety on, safety off, hammer back, whatever, okay? It's your gun. You decide how you're going to carry it and do it that way every time. When the stuff hits the fan, you don't want to have to sit back and start thinking about, well, which gun do I have on me? Is it on my ankle? Is it in my 3 o'clock position? It's in the small of my back. It's an appendix carry. It should be in the same place every time, same gun. You know, I do a lot of gun shows and talk to a lot of people that have guns, and when I ask them, what gun do you carry, sometimes I get this, well, you know, I carry a lot of different guns. Well, first off, I know that's BS, and I confront them right away because I say, you shouldn't be carrying a bunch of different guns. I mean, maximum 2, maybe a summer and a winter gun. But those are the guns you should be comfortable, second nature to deploying and firing. Okay, if you're going to sit there and fumble with a safety when somebody's coming at you with a knife or another gun, you know, you're wasting your time. Might as well use a brick. It'll be safer. Anyway, so become a creature of habit. Number 7, thou shalt seeketh high quality training. Nothing like it. I started making videos. I started making videos because I wanted to improve myself. Didn't want to go for the training, and so I'd go to the range and I struggle along and I do some shooting videos and I posted them, and some of the people in my gun club saw them. Anyway, I'll make a real long story short. The gun club offered me professional training free, no charge, which I was very fortunate and thankful for. But anyway, you should seek high quality training. There's just no excuse. If you think your life's on the line, you should be trained properly, and you should be trained on how to handle a weapon properly. Okay, just don't think that watching a few YouTube videos makes you a professional or makes you qualified. It's not going to cut it. I don't care how many of these things you watch. Go out and get the training. Number 8, thou shalt practice, practice, practice. I think I just said that. You need to practice. You've seen, if you've been watching any of my videos, you see I do dry fire practice in front of a mirror. I can show you a little bit of that here. Recently had some surgery done on my hand, so I needed to start using my weak hand for carrying and for firing. So I immediately went to dry fire, practice deploying the weapon, practice it over and over and over again until my hand got used to it, so I can do it without thinking. And then I went to the range and did some practice shooting one-handed. Okay, not supported, not just one-handed out, because this one was in a cast. So you need to practice, practice, and practice exactly the way you think you're going to be using your gun. Number 9, thou shalt not covet another's ammunition. Thou shalt not covet. Number 9, thou shalt not covet another's ammunition. Use your own ammo. Use the same ammo. Practice with that ammo. A lot of people buy the expensive ammo to carry, and then you buy the cheap stuff to practice with. Well, you also need to practice with the expensive stuff. I was partly guilty of that myself. I was carrying a 357 mag snubby, and I mean, a couple of reasons. One, it hurts to shoot that gun. It's an air light, so it's really lightweight. Shooting a 357 Magnum gives you a little bit of punch in your hand, and so I practiced with 38 Special, which is a lot easier on the hand and on the pocketbook. But you still need to shoot that 357 Magnum. You need to know what it feels, and I understand that when a situation happens and the adrenaline is running at 200%, you're not going to feel the impact of the 357 Magnum. Trust me on that one. And number 10, thou shalt never surrender. Never surrender. What more can I say to that? Thou shalt never surrender. The only time you surrender your weapon is once the authorities show up. When the police show up, put your weapon on the ground, put your hands up, stand back. A lot of the gun shows are talking to people about holsters. They worry about reholstering, and one of my friends, the Yankee Marshal, just did a video on reholstering, and he's absolutely right. They never worry about reholstering a gun, because in a confrontation, I tell people that a couple of things might happen. One, I may be dead, so there's no need to reholster. Number two, I might be in an ambulance, no need to reholster. And number three, the police will confiscate the weapon. So once the police or the authorities show up, you put your weapon on the ground and back off. Let them take over. And they'll probably confiscate your weapon anyway until they figure out what's happened. Okay? So never surrender, except to the proper authorities. Well, that's just my quick look at concealed carry, the 10 commandments of concealed carry. Hope you learned something from it. Hope you practice some of them, and be safe. That's the biggest thing I can tell you about concealed carry. You're carrying a loaded weapon in your pocket all the time. Be safe. Make sure you know how to use that weapon. Well, this is FirearmPop. Be safe out there, and God bless. Bye now. This is FirearmPop, and I approve of this message.